key market drivers, Barcelona, the White House, and retail earnings. This morning, Foot Locker reporting a decline in same-store sales. That stock is plunging ahead of the open. Foot Locker down 20% right now. It has been a mixed week for the sector. Walmart was, of course, a drag on the market yesterday after its outlook was a disappointment. Walmart shares under some selling pressure. Joining us right now is H Squared Research Chief Research Officer Hitha Herzog. Hitha, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to see you, too.
What did you make of the market reaction yesterday, and do you think we're at the beginning of what could be a broader sell-off?
I think having a terrorist attack abroad certainly exacerbated this market sell-off. I think that we are probably going to see, it's a volatile time. So anything that's large that happens, like a terrorist attack, is going to have that sort of impact. But do I think that these mixed retail earnings that are coming out is going to have more of an impact on the market? Probably not. I mean, I think we're having a little bit of a correction, and if we do see even more correction, it's time for it. It's due time, but
you're not worried about it.
No, for the most part, the earnings have been okay. I mean, we've had some. Foot Locker is not great, but for the most part, it's been okay.
Were you surprised to see Walmart sell off as strongly yesterday as it did? I mean, they had the online retail growth was actually quite strong for them. Their margins were compressed a little bit.
Right.
But I was surprised to see them sell off that much. Was that surprising to you?
Well, what Walmart is trying to do right now is take a lot of their revenue and put it back onto online. What's really interesting is that they've had an online business a lot longer than Amazon has. The problem is that Amazon just does it better. So now they're kind of scrambling to try to get that online business up and running and ramped up. So actually, the problem started back during the recession, right? A lot of these stores started expanding very quickly, brick and mortar, because they were expecting this nice rebound. People were going to go out there and start shopping again. You see these superstores popping up. Now, because no one really rebounded, I mean, it's almost been 10 years now, consumer hasn't rebounded as much as the retail industry had thought the consumer was going to rebound back, and you're seeing all these stores now starting to close.
I've been talking about how lousy the online experience is with brick and mortar retailers, traditional chains and retailers for almost 20 years now.
Right.
And they never, and I'll point to Macy's, even Target, Walmart's better, but they really never have been able to figure out, I don't know who they're hiring, but they haven't been able to figure out how to link online and in-store. Even, I told this story recently, you go in the Nike store, they're out of all of their shoes.
Right.
They didn't have one pair of running shoes in my size, and they went, go online. And I went, well, can you just order them for me in your computer and just ship them and have them delivered like tomorrow?
Right, since I'm here right now.
Yeah, we can't do that. And I'm like, well, but I can do that with any other retailers. With Amazon, you can get same-day delivery in some instances. They don't even have access to their own company, Nike's online store.
Right.
They're like, you can go do it. I'm like, that's really effective.
The problem there is, and not to get all tech wonky on you, but the front end, which is the sales, is not really talking to the back end very well. So that's all the back end is all the tech people. So there's no sort of marriage there. And when you go into a store and there's no inventory, the people on the online part don't know that. So that's part of the reason. And when you're talking about the Macy's of the world, the best way to describe it, it's like the cruise ships that are floating down the Hudson right now. They're moving at this very slow pace. Retail can't change quickly, and that's part of the problem. If they can ramp up, change quickly, we would be able to see that marriage between front end and back end a little bit better.
Not to digress, but sometimes it happens in chain stores on an individual basis. A friend of mine is a saleswoman at a luxury department store chain,
right, and
she actually will go on, if you can't find things in the store, she will go online and she will get it sent to her from the warehouse or sent to her from the online distribution out in New Jersey, and she gets the sales credit for it. But she's going to make sure she closes that sale one way or another.
But that's why Amazon right now is buying up distribution centers. They want to have the inventory so that they can send it to you within 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
They want to have these, just exactly to your point, that's where a lot of their money is going to be spent as well. Just making sure that these distribution centers are close to everyone's. Right now they have this gigantic one in Phoenix, and for the most part they've had these large ones kind of dotted all over the country. We're going to start seeing smaller ones so that those fulfillment centers can get to people much quicker.
Yeah. Well, and some of these are going to be brick and mortar locations, right? I mean, Amazon's moving the other direction. They're actually setting up shop, these sort of new situations where you come in, you order your groceries, you pick them up.
all for the inventory. It's all.
It is.
Exactly. That's what Jeff Bezos told me. I said, are you opening bookstores now?
Yeah.
He said, we just need space for inventory.
But they're using them as a hybrid purpose, really, which is they may be able to solve this problem, actually.
It's interesting. You know, there's a lot of, it's called showrooming, and so I think in that sense, it's a little bit of that. I don't necessarily think that it's just a straight up brick and mortar store that Amazon is going to have. Showrooming, we saw it a lot a couple years ago, right when the recession hit. People were kind of going in, looking at the merchandise and then buying it online. That's probably what's going to happen with Amazon as well. It's a hybrid of that. It's taking that whole omni-channel retailing that I hate that term, but it's taking that to another level. It's Amazoning it, if I could point a term.
Actually, there were showrooms that Sears Roebuck, it used to be a showroom. In rural America, you would go in and they would have some, like it would be a small store with some items and nothing was in stock.
Right.
And then they'd have
that's like Restoration Hardware.
They would have the catalog there and you could flip through and you fill out an order form.
And then it comes to your house.
Right. That's how retailing used to be.
What's old is new again, and then we're basically going back to that because, as you know, everything that we do shopping-wise is either done on our phone, done on our iPad, or done on our computer.
Well, Amazon changed everything, and this week, of course, the president tweeted about Amazon. Here's what he said. Amazon is doing great damage to tax-paying retailers. Towns, cities, and states throughout the U.S. are being hurt. Many jobs being lost. What do you make of the president's statement there, Hitha?
So that's sort of half true. Okay, so basically what's going on there is that he's right. There are a lot of jobs that are going away because of what Amazon is doing. But that is the nature of retail. What's happening right now is that, again, like we said, we're shopping online. A lot of those jobs are going to fulfillment centers, but those are jobs that people don't necessarily want. So Amazon has, for their fulfillment centers, they actually pay 25% less than most jobs at fulfillment centers. And Trump was talking about taxes. Well, there was a study that came out from Oxfam in December of 2016 that said there's $1.4 trillion of 50 American companies that are taking tax shelters right now. And Amazon was not on that list. So he isn't necessarily calling out Home Depot. He's not calling out Walmart.
Walmart destroyed all those jobs already, so let's not worry about Amazon.
So I read that tweet, and I have to say, you know, some of that, I think people were sort of quick to jump on the bandwagon and say, that's completely wrong. It's not all wrong.
All you have to look at is when Amazon says it's going to get into a certain business, what happens to the other companies in that business? They all sell off. Everybody's afraid of big, bad Amazon, so there is some truth to it. Hitha, good to see you.
Good to see you,
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hitha Herzog.